Hello and welcome to episode number 39 of the TEW 2016 Challenge Run. We are booking Monday Night Raw today. It is June week 2 and we're on the road to Extreme Rules. Let's jump straight into it. We start with Seth Rollins coming down to the ring, and he's off full head of steam after last week where he beat up 4 men with a steel chair. And he says, well, the pay-per-view is called Extreme Rules. What better way to get yourself mentally in check than by arming yourself with a steel chair and getting extreme on your number one contenders, hey? Because he just learnt through a WWE.com exclusive or whatever that at Extreme Rules he'll defend his Universal Championship against both EC3 and Braun Strowman. And he says that's at Extreme Rules. But if anyone wants to come down tonight and get for lack of a better term, to borrow from one of his number one contenders, to get these hands, they're more than welcome to. Babatunde, Braun Strowman's friend, comes down and the match starts. Seth Rollins defeats Babatunde. They don't click, which is a damn shame. So that future Universal Championship WrestleMania main event is now in jeopardy. But Seth Rollins gets the win. And after the match, he goes to grab another steel chair. And he continues wailing on the back of Babatunde with it. Braun Strowman would march out from the back and get down to the bottom of the ramp, but Rollins would threaten him with the chair. He'd be like, come on Braun, I've got a chair, I can take you on. Braun would he'd stand on the apron. And then when Rollins would go to swing at him, he'd jump off the apron. And then you get the boos as him and Babatunde retreat to the back. But as they're halfway up the ramp, we hear Drake Maverick's voice, and a video of him appears on the Titantron. And behind him, EC3 is on a sunbed with his sunglasses on, drinking some kind of cocktail out of a swirly straw. And Maverick says that it's a damn shame that him and Ethan couldn't be there tonight, but they're getting to work on expanding the mansion and expanding their business ventures, because when EC3 becomes the Universal Champion at Extreme Rules, all these new opportunities will open up to them. Just a quick tag squash match. Hey Machinery beating the Ascension. Otis gets the pin because he's Otis. Look at all these negatives for the Ascension. No wonder they're just shit in literally every single TEW save I've ever seen. I've never seen the Ascension be good in any of them. This one included, by the looks of it. We then get this segment. Tyler Breeze and Aaliyah and Conti not shooting the breeze this week, but they've come out just by themselves, no scheduled talk show, and Breeze calls out Johnny Gargano yet again. And he says to Johnny that last week he got beat by Mustafa Ali, and how that should have, for all intents and purposes, taken him out of the United States Championship hunt. But he knows Johnny's a good guy. He knows Johnny can see through injustice. And he knows that Tyler Breeze deserves one more shot at the gold. That'll bring Gargano out and he'd be like, well, I see what you're doing. You're trying to, again, manipulate the audience and myself into thinking that you should get a United States title shot. But, you know what? I'm going to humour you. This week... No, he wouldn't humour him just yet. He would well, you lost last week. You can't get a title shot as losing to Mustafa Ali. But... So, he is my number one contender, for I think. Mustafa Ali is my number one contender. Samoa Joe, I don't really know what's going on with him, but I've already got enough on my plate with those two. You not earning yourself a title shot, I shouldn't have to worry about you, but I'm going to humour you. Next week, me and you can go one-on-one again. if you can get the win, you can be added to the United States Championship match at Extreme Rules, and it becomes a triple threat. Tyler Breeze, he seems happy with this, and Johnny's like, just one condition, and then he points at Aaliyah and Conti, and he's like, you can leave the two broads at home. And then they go, oh, and then Aaliyah would step forward again, and again slap Johnny Gargano across the face. And she'd grab the mic and she'd be like, what are you going to do about it, Johnny? You call me a broad. You need to pay the consequence. What are you going to do, hit me? And then Johnny Gargano would be like, he'd ponder for a second. He'd be like, no, I'm not going to hit you because I'm a good man. I don't want to hit a woman. I can't hit a woman. But I do know somebody who can. And out comes his wife, Candice LeRae, who charges down the ring and just leaps on Aaliyah, starts raining punches down her head. Conti would pull her off, go to slap her, but Candice would duck the slap and just take Aaliyah out with a couple of kicks and a springboard moonsault to both of them. And she turn around, and just because I think it'd be funny, she can give Tyler Breeze the balls plex. So, I believe Candice was up on Raw once before. She teamed with Alexa Bliss. But this is her official call-up to the Monday Night Raw roster. Sasha and Bayley. Quick win over Mickie James and Lacey Evans. In apparently only the second time they've ever faced was the pay-per-view, and now. I thought they'd faced more often. But after the match, they grab the mics real quick and basically just accept the offer from Mandy and Carmella to be on SmackDown Live tomorrow night. We then get a backstage segment with the Undisputed Era in their little promo place. And it's Adam Cole discussing the return of AJ Styles and how in the main event tonight, Princess Nikki Bella, as he called her, has put my man Kyle O'Reilly in the ring with the Phenomenal One on his grand special Raw return that's being dubbed the greatest match in Raw history. And how he knows that Kyle is one of the greatest wrestlers on Raw, and AJ's perfect little return that sweet little Nikki has planned out for him isn't going to go so great when Kyle O'Reilly puts him back on the shelf. Ruby Riott just proving she can hang in one-on-one competition following Sarah Logan's departure with Bray Wyatt. She defeats Natalya and then just grabs the promo and she speaks to Becky and I hope you're watching, Becky, because you seem to be under the assumption that I was screwed in a steel cage by myself, but here I am, just Ruby Riott, no squad, and I pick up a win. So you're looking at your future, and your future is my foot in your face and me holding up the Raw Women's title. I'm sorry. 82B. Shinsuke Nakamura defeats Zack Ryder with the Kinshasa. Or Samoan Driver. Why was this so good? And Shinsuke's even getting penalties for declining and inconsistency and... Okay. After the match, Shinsuke would beat up on Zack Ryder some more. Kurt Hawkins would get in the ring and try and save his friend. And Shinsuke would take Kurt Hawkins down with a low blow as well and continue beating up on Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. Mainly Kurt Hawkins, actually. Because it makes more sense. Because he'd grab the microphone and he'd scream, "He's a loser. He's a loser." And he'd continue hitting Kurt Hawkins. He'd go, "Come and save him. Come and save him, Bray. Where are you?" Then spoopy Bray Wyatt video would go off. And Bray would be in the ring with his new cleansed souls, I guess you can call them. Alexander Wolf, Sarah Logan, and his brother Bo Dallas. And they'd stand off with Shinsuke Nakamura. And Shinsuke would grin, look at all of them and be like, come on! And then when they all come towards Shinsuke, he would do that thing where he slides under the bottom rope and just have that shit-eating heel Shinsuke grin on his face as he just cockily struts up the ramp and to the back after calling out Bray Wyatt for a fight and then deciding that he wanted no piece of Bray Wyatt. But we're going to see Alexander Wolf and Bo Dallas in action against Dragon Aisu and Heath Slater, and Wolf gets the pin over Dragon Aisu, just giving a nice simple win to Bray Wyatt's new followers. Or not really followers, because he's not really a cult. More just his new allies. He's their guardian angel. So I guess they are his followers in some way. This segment, Charlie Caruso catches the man strutting through the back of her Raw Women's title. She's like, what are your thoughts on the messages that Ruby Riott sent to you earlier on tonight? And she says she's never doubted Ruby. What she really meant when she said Ruby can't do it alone is she knew there was this talented wrestler inside Ruby Riott. She just wanted to get it out of her. And seeing her, what she did earlier on tonight to Natalya, it seems to have worked. She seems to have finally got the real Ruby Riott out of Ruby. And that makes the steel cage match all the more exciting, because Becky's not your standard champion where she's going to cower and want to take the easy way out. No, she wants the biggest challenges possible. She beat Ronda Rousey in the main event of WrestleMania. She doesn't want to go from that to taking on women who would have to cheat to win or aren't prepared. She wants the best of the best. And if that's inside a steel cage, the more the merrier. She'll happily step inside a steel cage with a competitor like Ruby Riott. Then you've got the Revival. You hear clapping from off camera. And it pans to show the Revival. And they're like, yeah, good points, Becky. You're really doing a great job as SmackDown Women's or Raw Women's Champion. And needless to say, you are pretty much reviving the Raw Women's division. Much like we were reviving the Raw Tag Team division. And that all came to a halt for us when we didn't expect it because of a fluke win that the Usos got. So you need to watch your back, be on your toes at all time, because one fluke win could end it for you, just like one fluke win ended it for us. And Becky's sort of confused about this, but then you hear the Usos coming in from off screen. They're like, what do you mean fluke win, Oos? We've been holding this place down for a decade. Ain't nothing about us a fluke. And the man here, she knows better than anyone what it's like to overcome adversity when she beat Ronda freaking Rousey at WrestleMania. And this would cause Becky to grin and be like, yeah, I did, I beat Ronda. Because reminding Becky that she beat Ronda will always make her smile. And the Revival are like, well, we've got another shot at you at Battleground, so we'll see what the fluke is. And maybe Becky is going to lose her title to Ruby Riott, and then the whole world will be crumbling down for all three of you, won't it? Well, Oos. We'll see Oos because of the penitentiaries and all that. And then Becky would be like, how about you stop running your mouth, Revival? You claimed you were the top guys even before you ever won the tag titles. I was the man. I wasn't the man because I claimed to be the man without a title, like you claim to be top guys without the tag titles. I became the man when I became the champion. And since that makes these guys the top guys in the tag division, and I guess this whole show, Monday Night Raw, is the man's penitentiary, and we sentence you to be gone. And the Revival walk away. Just a fun little segment, I think. 'Cause I like when people interact like this. So the Usos and Becky heated war of words with the Revival, getting under their skin to the point where they're like, they praised Becky and they're sort of like, oh, well, no, I think Ruby's going to win. Because they're heels and they're dickheads. Tiffany Edwards, who apparently outscores Rhea Ripley, gets beat by Rhea Ripley in a squash match. Nah. Why was Paige out here? Do I have Paige on Rhea Ripley? I shouldn't do. Dolph Ziggler's in the ring. And he's explaining why he attacked Cedric Alexander. He says, I've been here long enough now. I've seen everything. I know the status quo. I've seen countless of these indie, Ring of Honor, NXT, 205 Live guys. They come up and they're the hot new toy. They are given all the attention by management and by the fans, and like, this guy's a future world champion, this guy blah blah blah, he can main event WrestleMania. All the while I'm sat here knowing I'm damn good and I'm damn better than all of these people, knowing if I was given the opportunities I could main event WrestleMania, I could be the Universal Champion, but I've got to sit back and watch Cedric Alexander and the likes of them given the opportunities that I should be given. But all is well that ends well, as they say, because Cedric Alexander comes to Raw off 205 Live with this incredible buzz. He's going to shock the system, no pun intended. Like, so, shout out to the Undisputed Era, you're my guys. He's going to come and shock the system and take over Monday Night Raw and be the next big thing. He's going to win the Universal Championship, they said. But here we are, not 2 months later, and he's having back and forth with Baron Corbin. You know what that makes Cedric Alexander? That makes him the new Dolph Ziggler. He's already in the Dolph Ziggler role. So, every cloud, they say, has a silver lining. With Cedric Alexander now in the Dolph Ziggler role, that means that Dolph Ziggler can take the role that Dolph Ziggler knows that Dolph Ziggler can be in. And that is him beating Chad Gable with a zigzag AEB. Nikki Bella in her office. First time I've seen her Raw show, really. He's not really done anything this week. When AJ Styles walks in and he says thanks to Nikki for booking him tonight against Kyle O'Reilly, and it may not be Adam Cole, but at least he's got a chance to shut up one of those Undisputed Era men. And Nikki's like, you're fine. Obviously, I wanted this to happen. I wanted you to shut these pricks up. And AJ says, don't let them get to your head. You're doing a perfectly fine job as general manager. I don't understand Adam Cole's vendetta against you. But just be known that I appreciate everything you've done so far. I know there are other members of the roster who do too. Don't let Adam Cole ruin your enjoyment of this job. And Nikki's like, thanks AJ for popping in. And he's like, well, I've got a Kyle O'Reilly to defeat. And the main event comes up next. AJ just being a nice wholesome guy, telling Nikki, actually, you've not really done anything wrong. It's just Adam Cole being a dick. We then get AJ and Kyle, 83B. That wasn't the finish that I put in, but whatever. We'll go with it. I put in AJ to win by DQ when the rest of the UE run in and attack him. And they beat him up more. And they go to put him back on the shelf when not specifically Gable, Jordan and Otis. They probably would be there. But it would just be a barrage of baby faces coming out to even the odds to take out some of the members of the Undisputed Era, as AJ would hit the phenomenal forearm on Adam Cole to end the show, which gets us an 88B+. Very good show, and we're very much on the road to Extreme Rules now. See you next time for SmackDown.